Hey y'all, it's me. I'm gonna continue reading from my book, The 1900s. Yay! 12 Seconds of Success. Thursday, December 17, dawn cold and cloudy. A strong wind blew from the north at 20 to 25 miles an hour. A thin glaze of ice coated the puddles about the camp. A poor day, but the Wrights were anxious to get on with it. At 10 a.m., the men at the life-saving station saw the signal. Another try would be made. Those who were free dropped over. Then W.C. Brinkley of Montail turned up. He was another local resident who had begun to take an interest in the Wrights. Finally came Johnny Moore, a carefree 17-year-old who lived about 3 miles down the beach. Soon they were again hauling the plane to its starting point, but now the job was easy, for there was no need to use the hill on a windy day like this. The track was simply laid on level sand about 100 feet from the Wright's shed. Here the men placed the machine on the dolly, which rested as before on the monorail. Orville set up a camera and pointed it at the spot where he expected the plane to take off. The motor sputtered and roared. The chain drive clanked away and the two pusher propellers whirled around. The flyer trampled all over. It was Orville's turn now, and at 10:35 a.m., he lay down in the cradle amidships. He too looked like a boy out splitting, but in another sense he looked like a misplaced businessman. As always, he wore a short collar. Oh, I don't know why I'm so tired. Starch colored tie and dark suit. Wilbur, dressed the same way, took its stand by the right wing. To help balance the machine, it just started on its way. Near its feet lay a shovel, a can of nails, a hammer sticking in it. Not very spectacular equipment, but somehow symbolic of two mechanically gifted men who didn't pretend to be scientific geniuses. Orville released the wire that anchored the machine to the end of the monorail. Slowly, then faster, it lumbered down the track into the teeth of the wind. Wilbur ran alongside, holding the forward upright and the right wing. About 40 feet down the track, Orville jerked the front elevator wires. Up it rolled, bobbing and wobbling through the air 10 feet above the ground. It stayed up only 12 seconds. It went only 120 feet. But it certainly flew. There couldn't have been less excitement. Wilbur and Orville knew it would work all along. The 5 spectators were pleased but not especially surprised. They had watched the Wrights gliding for 3 years. They seemed pretty much the same, except that this time the machine had a motor. Into the air again. They hauled it back to the starting point and prepared for another flight. First, though, they had to warm up. Everyone pushed into the Wright's little shack and crowded around the faithful carbide can stove. Overhead were the patent beds, looking a little like Pullman upper berths. Along the unpainted walls were cans of food, pots, plates, and the bread pan which you to bake rolls. It didn't look like the sort of place to solve the eternal problem of flight. Nor was the conversation now about flying. Looking under the plain wooden table, Johnny Moore spied a bucket of eggs. More eggs in one place than he had seen before in his life. The people of the Outer Banks scratched along as best they could. When they did any feasting at all, it was invariably fish. This then was amazing. He asked one of the life-saving crew where they all came from. The man reminded Johnny of a scrawny hen that was flopping around just outside the shack. "Well," he exclaimed, "that chicken laid 8 to 10 eggs a day. Now here was something interesting. More bolted out to study the hen. Convulsed with laughter, they all trooped out to the machine again. It was Wilbur's turn. At 11:20 a.m., he took off, and again the plane bobbed along about 10 feet above the ground. This time it went about 175 feet before slamming down into the sand. At 11:40, Orville tried again and got 200 feet. He exactly knew when Wilbur took off on the fourth flight. Again the flight bounced along shortly for 100 feet or so. But now he understood the controls better. Even more important, he had the intuitive sense of balance that could only come from 4 years' experience flying gliders above the sands of Kitty Hawk. He knew just what to do, and the machine responded perfectly. 200, 300, 600, 808, 852 feet it flew before an unexpected gust finally brought it down. It had been in the air for 59 seconds. Please rate, comment, and subscribe down below. And I have a Patreon account, so if you want the username for that, just comment down below. And if you're on TikTok, please like and follow me. I need more followers than I do likes, but I like them both. But yeah, and please pay for something on either my Mercari or eBay, okay? Bye.